What's going on, guys? It's your boy The Boxing Lowdown, and I'm back here with another Mythical Monday video. Now, as always, people, don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to drop a comment if you like, and I'll happily get back to you. Now, let's get right into it, man. A domestic heavyweight showdown I'm going to give to you guys for this week's Mythical Monday matchup, and it'll be a very interesting one. Very good fight as well, I reckon. Joe Joyce and Frank Bruno, UK domestic heavyweight showdown. How does this one go in your opinion? Now, as always, let me just remind people that this is pure, you know, mythical, it's fantasy matchups. There's no right or wrong answer here, but this would have been an interesting fight. The build-up wouldn't have been that great. I could just imagine, like, these two. I mean, Frank Bruno wasn't one known for his trash talking, so to speak. He wasn't really known for that. He was known for laying it all out in the ring, bringing a lot of heart, you know, having the UK right behind him, really getting the people involved. Frank Bruno was more that kind of heavyweight, whereas Joe Joyce, as we know, is not the best trash talker at all. He even acknowledges that himself, right? So, yeah, this wouldn't have been the greatest build-up in the world. But I think in the ring, sparks may have flown here. It would have been an interesting fight. Frank Bruno, as we know, he does have a dig on him. He has a very solid right hand, and he's very powerful as well. You can see how he's built, very muscular. But doesn't that remind you of another heavyweight that Joe Joyce recently beat in Daniel Dubois? I'm not saying that they're the same, but, you know, they do have the same sort of mannerisms. They do have the same sort of, you know, frame. But Frank Bruno, yeah, he's better than Dubois. But would Joe Joyce have been able to get the better of him? I think that he might have, you know. I think that it would have been a battle of attrition. I reckon that Joe Joyce would have had to take some shots from Frank Bruno, and they would have been some heavy shots as well. Would Joe Joyce been able to stay on his feet? Maybe. I mean, even against Zhilei Zhang, he got stopped in that fight, but, you know, it was the referee that stepped in. Joe Joyce was willing to continue, and it was really down to the eye. His eye was really just a mess from what Zhang was doing to him, the sharp power punches that he was landing. Frank Bruno does have the potential to do that to Joe Joyce as well, but I just think that Joe Joyce's athleticism, the way how he breaks down opponents, the way how he just continues to march forward and break your spirit, I think he could have done that to Frank Bruno, you know. The crowd would have been right behind Bruno. They would have been all behind him, you know, like I said, he really brings them involved in the fight. The UK loved Frank Bruno, one of the most loved fighters of our last few generations, Frank Bruno was. So, yeah, they would have been really behind him. But I don't know if it would have been enough for him to defeat Joe Joyce. I think that he would have gave a great effort. And, you know, I just think that ultimately Joe Joyce would have, you know, took his lumps and bumps from Bruno and maybe walk him down. Maybe similar to the Dubois fight, really. I'm not saying that Bruno would have quit, but I think that he would have walked him down, maybe landed a bit too much on him, and the referee maybe stepping in, maybe rounds 10 or 11. I think that Bruno would have left it all out there in the ring. His effort would have been there, but he tended to mark up pretty easily as well. And I just think that with Joe Joyce's activity, the amount of punches that he throws, the athleticism of Joe Joyce, you know, he has it all really in terms of, you know, marching forward, taking shots, being athletic, being a nuisance really in the ring. Horrible guy to fight. And I just think ultimately, yeah, it might have been a bit too much for Frank Bruno, but it would have been interesting because of Frank Bruno's power and the guys that Frank Bruno's been in with. He's been under the storm. He's fought Lennox Lewis. He's fought Mike Tyson. He's fought those guys. He went through the war against Witherspoon, and, you know, even on the way to his first title, he went through it all, and he managed to come out the better end of it in that particular fight for the belt anyway. So the heart is there, and he would have brought it for Joe Joyce, but I just ultimately think that maybe Joyce would have been able to tag him a bit more often than Bruno would have been able to tag him. And I reckon that it might have been a fact where a battle of attrition with Joe Joyce slightly getting the better of it. But just my opinion on the matter, man. Let me know your thoughts about it in the comment section below. Yeah, very interesting fight. Would have been a good one. But I'm picking Joe Joyce in this one by late stoppage. Yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And also, don't forget to drop your recommendations for any future Mythical Monday videos. That's it for me this week, guys. I'll be back with another one. I'll catch you guys on the next video.